Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I'm here with Spellbinders and the Amazing Paper Grace die kit of the month, and this is for March. So this one has some beautiful elements. We've got this beautiful quarter element. We have 3 words, so we have miss, congrats, and you. We have some beautiful flowers. Now, there's a video that I'll link down below. So, of course, Amazing Paper Grace, Becca Feeken, yay, hopefully I always pronounce her name right. She has these dies that are, I believe they're called Cinch and Go. And you can make the most beautiful flowers with them, whether you leave them like this or just by adding water. And there's reasons why there's these little pinholes in the center. So you get 2 of those dies with this kit as well. And I have those, I have a bunch of them already die cut. And I'll show you what we'll be doing with those. And then you have 3 pieces here for your main focal point. So you have, excuse me. You have your main frame outer part, all right, and then that will sit there. Now you could simply take this to make it one piece and put this right in the center as well, all right, so that this would be completely one block. You can keep this the way that it is, and then by having this circle here and by centering your circle die into that, now you have this cutout. And that's actually how I used this today. Now, of course, I did all of my die cutting off camera, so I do have all of my pieces ready. Just going to get these back on top of my magnet sheet. So we're kind of going to make a card within a card. Okay, so these are all my pieces here. And then I have these pieces here. So I have 3 of the corners, and then I have 3 more corners cut for over here. Now let me pull those down so that you can see them. And then I have my base. So I have 2 bases going on here. Okay, so you'll see that I've cut the congrats sentiment 3 times, 2 from ivory and 1 from a pink cardstock. I've cut 2 of the, what I'll call the frame dies, but I did not use the circle cutout. I wanted them to be a complete square. I have 1 of the cutout circle with the detailed die, and then I had the circle die around it. And here is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 top folding card base that we will be using. Again, here I have a total of 6 corners die cut. 3 will be together, and then I have 3 more. I have a 6 by 6 panel out of ivory cardstock, and I have a 6 by 6.5 inch card panel out of ivory cardstock as well. So let me push those up and let me get these out of the way, and let's focus on our card base real quick for right now. So I'm going to grab my 6 by 6.5 inch piece of cardstock, and I'm going to score it at 6, so that gives me a 1/2 inch. I'm going to fold that over. I'm going to put a nice crease to it, and I'm going to grab some double-sided tape, and I'm going to put 2 layers of that on this tab. It is a 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to make sure that that's secured down, and I am going to lift this up. I'm going to bring in my 6x6 panel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this right up to my other panel with the double-sided tape. And I'm just going to match these two edges up. I'm going to then fold this edge over. And that now has created my 6x6 card base. That's what I have here. All right. So I'm going to focus on this. Now this is all going to be one color. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to place my corners. Now I think I'm gonna need my tweezers for this. All right, so now I'm gonna put my glue down. Just some thin dots. And then I'm going to set this in place in the corner. Now again, I'm just putting some very thin dots, sporadic. Oh, that doesn't need to be there. And that's now stuck to me, I think, forever. Okay, let me put some dots here. All right. So we're going to set this in the corner. And I want to make that as even as possible. There we go. So what that does, when you use a tone-on-tone color, you get an impression. It looks like you have an impression within your cardstock. So I'm actually going to set the next three in place. Again, doing the same thing, just adding some dots so that glue doesn't go all over the place. But just making sure those larger areas or any areas that can lift up are covered. And then I'm going to do that down in this bottom corner. And again, I'm just making a note of the distance at which this one is held. I just want to move that panel. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Okay, now we got that straight. So again, it may not be perfect, but I'm lining it up as best as I can. I'm not going to pull out a ruler or anything like that. And then this is the last one. It's the last single one, if that makes sense. And you'll see what I mean when I get that last one. All right, so that's going to go in this upper corner. I'm going to get that to get set down. Okay, so I have my three corners attached. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. So now what I'm going to do is I want to take these three and I want to layer them. And that's all I'm going to do with these. I'm going to layer these on top of each other. So I'm going to create a thicker and more dimension of a corner. And then I'm going to set this last one in place. Okay. All right, so I'm going to make sure that I don't have any glue on this side. There's a reason. And when I set this one down in here, I am only going to put glue down on this edge and on this edge. Okay, and now I'm going to set this down on this corner. And I'm just going to hold that there for a little bit. And yes, I'm a little crooked, and no, I don't care. Remember, we let it go, we don't stop. Again, nothing needs to be perfect. We are good. Okay, so you have this difference when it comes to this piece here. It stands out a little bit more because I have more layers here than these three. Now, there's a reason why we've done what we did with this side, but I'm going to set this aside for right now. Okay, so let's look at these two panels first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my double-sided foam, and I'm just going to cut a hunk off. A hunk is a technical term in the card making world, just in case you didn't know. And I'm going to set one piece across there. And wow, I just did this from the wrong side, so I'm hoping, there we go. All right, and we'll cut a square here. We'll cut another square. And now we'll cut a square with two triangles. And then we'll do that one more time. And we'll cut that on an angle as well. And hopefully these fit. There we go. Okay. Where did I put... Ah, there it is. Okay. So now I'm just going to press those down, and I'm going to remove the release paper because I'm going to layer these two. All right. All right, so we have a little bit of dimension between these two pieces here. Now, this piece here, we're going to set straight down on this. So, I have some glue down there. I'm going to focus glue around this outside, and then I'm also going to focus on the glue on that outside as well. All right, I'm not going to focus on all of those details. So I'm going to center this. And I'm going to press down. Okay, now, and I have some bits here. So now what we have, and I'm going to make sure that they're facing the correct way. But what I did was I cut this piece with another cardstock, and it's actually the card base that I'm using for this. Okay, so I want to focus on these first. going to put my glue dots in those centers, and then I'll come in with a little bit on the outside. And I am going to do some piecing here. And we're just going to set these in this spot. All right, now I'm going to fill in with the other ones. Now, what I'm using here is a wax pencil. Actually, it looks like a white color pencil. It is not. It is actually a white pencil or a wax pencil, and it's actually used in nail salons to add to when they put the rhinestones on your nails. That's what they use these for. I saw Vicky. I can't pronounce her last name, and if I did, it would sound very bad. I saw her using one of these and absolutely fell in love. I'm like, yes. So, and I love it. And this has been the same one I had gotten a box of 10. So very reasonable. They were awesome. So I think that is where, I mean, I did also cut these out as well. No, you want to know what? I don't want to put that in there. I really like just that. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to put those centers in, but I do like the way that looks. It just gives a little bit of difference and separation onto that piece coming on there. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it down onto my card base. So I'm going to come around the outside carefully, and then I'll fill in. And then I'm going to set this. Now the beauty of this square from the dies is a 4" by 4". That is its size. All right, now I have the sentiment as well. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with this yet. All I know is I just locked it all up, and this will be fun. There we go. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with those yet. So I'm just going to set those aside. So here is the small card. So here is my thought process. This is now going to be encased into this. So you've got this offset card within a card. Okay, that's what I've created here. Now I just need, now we're going to work on this component here. Now you could also just take this and open it up like that and have that lay down. So now you have, again, a double opened card sitting here, okay, if you wanted to. Now, if you do that, I would use a much heavier cardstock. This is actually the ivory that I'm absolutely a fan of is the Stampin' Up! Very Vanilla. But I'm not sure if I bought the thin version, which I think I did, the lightweight. But to do something like this, to have this sit up, you do need to have a heavier card base, because this is getting some weight on it as you keep adding cardstock to it. Okay, but I'm actually going to have this sit in, you know, just like that. All right. All right, so let's work on the next component. Now, the next component are the flowers. So I have these. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper before I bring in that, and I'm going to set these down. Now we're going to get inky, and we're just going to have a lot of fun, because that's what we do. Okay, so I've got my petals here, and I'm going to use my Distress Oxide Spray Spun Sugar. And I'm going to shake it up. I've got my towel ready to clean this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray. If that makes sense. And I know I'm getting stuff all over the place. Now I'm going to real quick turn these over, and I'm going to spray the other side. Okay, so now we're just going to have fun. We're going to pat them, and yay! This is all kinds of fun. This is great. Okay, so now I'm going to grab these, and I'm going to put them on my foam. All right, now I'm going to grab this tool on the end of my Spellbinders tool-in-one. So now I'm just going to go to town, and I'm going to continue to break, and I'm going to push. Oh! It's because I did not have this set in right. Alright, so we're going to push. Same thing on this one. Just going to swirl it, and we're going to push. So I'm going to do that with all of these. Obviously, I am not locking this in correctly. Obviously, I'm not doing that right, but I'm going to grab something else. There we go. Now I can put all the pressure I want, because all I want to do is press down. Now again, this is what works for me, but as I said, I will link to how she does this in her video. She does a couple really neat things. But I just like to push, because since you've sprayed these with whatever it is, you can use ink spray, you can use your oxides, you can use your dilutions, you can use your homemade, whatever it is you're using, that's fine. Totally your choice to definitely have fun with. Okay, now I'm just pulling out some pearls here and some florist wire, and I need to grab my cutters. Yes, I was so prepared on this one. Where are my cutters? Give me more cutters. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I don't need that much wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pearl. I think I'm going to grab, I like this one. I'm going to grab a pearl. I'm going to fold the wire around it. And I'm going to twist. And I'm going to really twist up to the bead, because I want that bead to set inside the flower. So now I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take a small petal first. And I'm going to push that up, and then I'm going to take a larger petal and I'm going to push that up as well. And I'm going to form it, and I'm going to keep on adding. I'm going to add another one. So that's my flower. Now for the last one, what I'm going to do, just wanted to see what that looks like. So now that I know, I'll be able to take that. I'm going to put a little glue. I'm going to bring that next one up. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to push that up. Get the glue connected. I'm going to add some more glue down there. And I'm going to add this one. And we'll get that up there as well. And again, all I'm doing, because it's still damp, I'm literally just scrunching up around that. And that's all that I'm doing. Okay? So now we're going to do that again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab that one. And you can see I'm bending the wires as I'm holding these, because I want the flowers to be up flat. That's what I'm looking to do here. So what I'm actually going to grab is a piece of cardstock. And I'm going to kind of make a small circle, as strange as that sounds. And I need I'm going to put a hole in that. All right, so you've got, now you want to know what? I'm actually going to punch a hole. Let's see here. All right, because now I can get all of these in here. And it can be like the building block of what I want to do here. Okay, so what I did was I have them through that disc. Now I'm just going to lift this up, and I do want to trim around this because I'm seeing way too much of it. And I don't want to see that much. Okay. So there we go. Now I'm going to add glue to that and to each of the sides. And that is what's going to grab each of these flowers. So you can see the little tiny bouquet that I've made. And I can sit here and I can push on the pearls. I can get those through. And now we can see all those flowers. All right, now what I'm going to do is now bend those wires. All right, and now I'm going to bend them back on themselves. And trim. Now, I'm going to set these down. I'm going to push, because I want this to go flat. Okay, now, let me, got lots of stuff going on here. Oh my. So we have our base here, and we have, I'm looking for some ribbon. Can you tell? Oh my goodness. There we go. It's amazing. You know, you think you have everything right there, and you swore you did. That's not the one I wanted. Okay. So we have our main base here. Now, what I want to do is I actually want to put this just right there on that corner. Now, what I'm also going to do here, I am going to put a piece of cardstock in here because I'm sure that some of this glue is going to overlap. All right. So I just want that to sit there. And I should probably, yeah. Fabri-Tac, here we come. So we're going to gop that up. And I'm going to keep that moving. Yeah, see how that... So I'm doing that because I don't want the glue to go down onto this. I don't want that pocket closed. So I think I'll be okay if I just keep that there. Okay, now we're going to grab some ribbon and we're going to make a bow that will probably not look like a bow because I am so not a bow maker. I think it is the most hysterical thing for me. But yeah, I do not make bows well at all. If I'm tying around something, great. And this is probably not going to go well either, but we're going to pray for the best. Okay. Oh. Nope. But you know what? Let's see if we can work it. Work it. Wow. Oh my. You know, I watch people make bows and they have fun with it. They can make the bow just comes out. For me, nope. Alright, so I am going to put some Fabri-Tac on that because I want that to sit right on that bow. And then, so you can tell that my cardstock is, because I keep pushing it down so that it connects. Okay, we are back. Let's see if that, oh my God. Okay, that's a little bit, not as much. All right, see. So, what we have our 6x6 card base with the 3 corners that are straight on, and then we have this extra strength one because that is going to hold this card. Now, I'm setting it in there like that. Okay? just to have that come in. I mean, you can, and that's because I've put the flowers on there down onto the corner. See, it would sit like that, and that doesn't look good. But if I sit it like that, I can still see my four corners. I've got this beautiful corner bouquet, so to speak. Now, what I've decided to do with my sentiment is to only do one. And I'm going to use my regular glue. And I'm just going to put that on the inside. Again, using some very fine dots. I realize I don't speak when I glue. Okay. And then I'm just going to set that down there. I'll clean that up a little bit. Okay. So I like that. I like the contrast of the pink and the tan. And then I have some ivory. I want one of the large ones, and I just want one actually. I mean, you could have a lot of fun just constantly putting, you know, your jewels or anything like that. But I definitely want that one in the center. And then I think, well, it's not that I think. I'm sitting here fighting with the needle going into the glue tip there. I am going got my brown, and I want my pink. So I'm loosening up my Nouveau drop. All right. And now I'm just going to embellish. I'm going to start by just putting a small drop of my bubblegum pink in the bottom of that drop. And I'm going to gently tap just to level them out. It's a gentle tap because you can see if I put that on its side, I don't know if you'll see that. See how it's pretty thick. I didn't by rolling this in your hands like this, it actually gets the heat from your hand to get in here, and it will loosen that up. All right, so now the next one I'm bringing in is the vintage chocolate. This has got to be my favorite. From the container to how it dries. I love the satin look. I really do wish that they would have come out with more colors with the vintage. But they didn't come out, you know, there's colors, but not, you know, not that many. All right, let me even some of these out. Getting carried away here. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do for that. So I've got a jewel. Just going to tap lightly. Put that away. Okay. So again, we have our, okay, there's my top. Now I'm not going to put this in all the way. I don't think I can. Oh yeah, I can. There you go. So now we have our card within a card, because you can certainly take you know, one of these sentiments of congrats, and you can put it onto the inside. I mean, you have all of this space here if you want, or if you didn't want that, just make your top piece. Just make that top panel, make it be 6 by 6. Okay, so I just chose to do a double. This one corner here is just holding that secondary card. So I think, you know, again, it's a little different, a little unique. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to come together. I was really struggling with these, and I don't know why. Usually it's, you know, they work kind of right away there, but that's okay. We finally got them going. As I said, I'll definitely have her video linked down below as well. But I do honestly, I hope you enjoyed this project. Something a little bit different, a card within a card when you have your corner elements, or no matter what you come up with. Maybe I inspired you to come up with a different way to have a card within a card process. And I hope to see it. So please let me know. As always, all the products that I used will be linked down below in the video description. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure they're down below as well, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love for you to hit that button. Make sure you ring the bell so that you know when the next video is live, and make sure you hit the thumbs up. And always, for those of you that have already subscribed and have been with me from the beginning, or even if you've just recently subscribed, I say thank you. I truly am grateful that you're here, and I am very thankful that you are taking this journey with me. I hope everyone is having a great day, but remember what's most important for me, and it's important that we try to do it at least once every day. Always be creative. Till next time, guys.